My wallet is sobbing. I can hear it. I can hear it in the hall now. It is breaking down, crying.
It turns out that Attila, the arrogant so-and-so, he's got a fake hammer.
Oh, a fake?
Yeah.
Whoa.
As I say, dick.
Welcome to episode 114 of the Allegiance podcast. And this week we're going to talk about, of course, the Tale of the Crossroads, which was revealed this week. First lot of Legion's Gone figures, so that's going to be fun. And also his little in-stock sale, which has happened probably the day before this drops. So maybe not as much use to you there, but at least if stuff is still on the website, you know, and our Patreons will get to hear our opinion about the in-stock sale before it goes live. So yeah, we do have a Patreon if anyone is interested. Come along. You don't have to join, but it would be great to see more of you there. And yeah,
We're on about Patreons, John. Can I just drop in at this point as well? The Riches Randoms, guys. I've got all your details. I've got your time zones and everything. So very shortly, I'll be sorting out dates and times with you all for those.
Yeah, and the Riches Randoms is Rich interviewing people, as opposed to me. So that's going to be much better, in my opinion.
I'm trying to decide if I do it drunk each time, just to spice it up a little bit.
Maybe more progressively more drunk. Maybe you know, the first one just a beer. Maybe the second one, depend on the time zones, how late you have to stay up. Yeah. You know,
and the first question, John, can you read it? I'm just like,
the guys over on the West Coast, they'll just be getting rich at 4 a.m. here. Yeah, he's already hungover. It'll be that late. Yeah, so that should be fun, and obviously, you don't need to subscribe to our Patreon to get our episode every week, but we do some bonus stuff, and of course, coming up to Legion's Gone, we'll have some cool little perks for the Patreons that we can give out in person to the ones that are there, and yeah, we're doing some exciting stuff this year. I think that should be fun. More along the lines of customizing again, and we'll see if we have time for some other stuff. Anyone for another pin? I know Mal would.
Yeah, I'd any pins you want to get made, I would happily add them to my
I've actually I have a little. You just see it there. Which way is it? There. It's just behind that cabinet there on the wall, and it's full. So it's like a little kind of square with a little triangle on the bottom, piece of material, and yeah, it's full. And I have another one, but I don't want to take out the other one until I have a few pins waiting, because it's going to look pretty sad if it's just up there with one pin, you know.
I've still got a load of pins that
yeah. Oh, it's exactly like that, Mal. I just see. Yeah, it's the same type of thing as that. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I need to get another one because, as I say, I've got a few pins that aren't even on there yet. They're in a bag, like behind the computer here. I need to get them on there. So,
yeah, I have Ganesha to put up, but I think I'll be able to rearrange a little bit and get her in there beside, or him in there beside him in there beside the other Figura Obscuras. They're great pins. The Figura Obscura one's actually really good.
If we're doing a new pin this year, we'd have to decide about how brave you're feeling, John. Do you want to change the artwork and deal with that Chinese lady, or do you want to just different colour?
No.
Breeze.
I think if we're going to do a pin, everyone seems to reach out to George at the Horseman, so maybe I should do that.
Ah, okay.
It might make more sense, but we'll have to see how that works. Or I can, if anyone wants to do pins in China and send them to me, and I can bring them to Legion's Con for you, you know, without the tariffs. Although maybe I wouldn't get away with that. So that could be another can of worms we don't want to be opening.
Yeah, no.
And you boys met up for beers this past week, or on Friday, so.
Did indeed. I had to do with a member of my team's end of year review, and they're based in Birmingham, so took advantage of it to go out for a few beers with you know, your man over there.
We did, yeah, and it was as ever. It was a nice, enjoyable evening, wasn't it? We had a bit of food.
Did indeed.
Did you go spicy or?
I went fish and chips.
Oh, awesome.
I can't remember what I had, but it was nice. Oh, it was a steak sandwich. It was a steak sandwich,
yes,
which was delicious.
right,
Yeah.
Yeah, that staff member then in Birmingham should be getting a little extra quarter bonus point or something on his appraisal just for the fact that you get to go for beers with Mal afterwards.
No, that's not the way it works, John.
Oh well. Yeah, I'm sure you're fair. You know, whatever about anything else, Rich. You might be a filthy scalper and all that, but you're fair.
I'm not a filthy scalper usually.
No.
Usually.
You're a man that appreciates the value of money, and when certain figures reach a threshold in your collection, it can become more difficult to hold on to them.
Yes, that's a very distinct way of putting it. Succinct way of putting it. I like that.
Yeah. You don't go out of your way to get buy a whole shop's worth of figures so that nobody else can get them, and then sell them all at an inflated price. That's different.
No, I just if I want to buy a few more figures every now and again, I'll walk in the display room and just cast an eye over it.
Yeah,
but, the ones that aren't already lying down because they've I'm so bad at keeping things organized. They start trembling. It's like, oh my god, he's going to sell us. He's going to sell us.
Yeah.
And
yeah. But I mean, I think the longer you're in this line, you do collect the odd extra for custom or for maybe army building, and then you see more waves coming out and you think, oh, well, maybe I don't need that extra now because this other one has all the other parts, or these ones are so cool, I need to go another way in my collection. So that's really how I end up churning anyway.
Yeah, and I've never been a completist with any of my stuff that I collect. So
completism is the most expensive and dangerous way to collect for sure. Yeah. Because you're literally at the mercy of them just releasing a load more figures. Or on certain lines going backwards to pick up what you've missed out so far. So
yes,
yeah. Very good. So no gossip on the beer. No funny stories. Nobody.
No, it's all very civilized
thing.
Yeah, it was pretty civilized actually. Yeah, we put the world to rights, I'm sure. But
Started
talking about Legion's Con. Obviously, that's we're 6 months out, so now's the time to start.
Great. So what's the plan? What's the plan? Come on.
Miles going on Sunday, apparently. So.
Yeah. That's my.
Oh, are you? Have you?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I booked my flights, so I'm going to arrive there
into New Jersey and all that.
Yeah, into New Jersey. I haven't decided what to do hotel-wise, whether to just.
I was going to say, just make sure somewhere, because of course we're booked from the Wednesday in the hotel.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I know. I only need to.
That could be easy to forget because you're just thinking, oh yeah, the hotel is sorted, and then you realize, oh shoot.
No. I'm deciding what to do for Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and where to stay, and whether to just take the extra expense of the con hotel or what. I haven't decided yet.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I recommended if Mal wants to do New York or anything, I recommended the hotel I stayed in the first. So in Legion's Con 22.
Right.
Basic, but it's clean, comfortable. There's a fridge. Yeah.
There's a bus actually.
There's as well as a 10-minute
into New York from there, isn't there?
There is, yeah. I think it takes like 10 minutes on the bus. So
no, I took that bus. It's a bit longer, but it's not that long. Maybe half an hour.
From which hotel now?
The one we were at first.
I was in a different one to you guys. Yeah.
Okay. Are we that much closer?
Yeah, I went cheap across town. So.
Okay. Well, even closer again.
So cool. I'm deciding that feels like, because part of what I'm going to do is probably do a trip to New York the one day and maybe
definitely
New Jersey the next, and
I'm ashamed I haven't gone to New York yet. After as a kid growing up, we had this massive coffee table book of New York in the sitting room for years, and I used to always flick through it, amazed at all these big buildings. I did the first year I did transit through, and I took, I had a burger and had on the way, and hung around the streets for a few minutes, but I didn't really visit any of the sites or anything. But I got a sense of the atmosphere. It is a cool city.
Oh yeah, I've been there a couple of times. I did really like it. Yeah.
Very good. Well, that's all exciting stuff. I can't believe we're a good bit into the year already. It's May. I was looking at, camera roll on your phone now seems to be the best way to look back at your life. If you're anyway semi-regular taking photos or screenshots, I think even sometimes they're informative. And some of the photos I seen from like early May last year were stuff like prepping for Allegiance Con, like the pin order, stuff like that. I think was when we were around the time we started off the project with the 2 head sculpts. So, that's it's all stuff that if you're thinking of doing stuff, you need to start now already, really.
Oh yeah.
If you I mean, you don't have to, you can be mega stressed at the end if you want to, but
well, we've started doing a little bit already, haven't we? So
yeah. We should be fine.
Yet, but we've started doing a little bit.
There's 3 of us in it, so we can share the burden somehow. Yeah, very good. And we had this little bit of news pop up. As I mentioned earlier, the in-stock sale at Store Horseman begins Thursday, May the 8th, 2025. Headline attractions here, of course, Ganesha, your second chance to get in it, including some all-ins. Would be slightly limited on the all-ins, but I mean, they usually are anyway, but it does sound maybe a bit more limited than usual. And obviously the figure alone as well. ATL 25, which is an awesome figure. I think you can confirm, guys, you've got yours now as well in hand.
Really, really good.
Yeah. And Headhunter, which is the one from Zolocon, isn't it?
Yes.
The standard version of that. You have the con version, if I remember well.
I do. I have the con version, and I will be getting a second con version at Legion's Con from our buddy Matt Drake.
Oh, cool. Yeah. Oh, Matt. That's awesome. So these are limited to 1 per person for the first 24 hours. So if you're wanting multiple and you live over outside the US, you might want to just take a chance and wait and see. If you don't have to have if you already have one, or if you don't mind missing out, but you'd like a few, you might have to wait. Otherwise, you'll just have to order one and suck up the shipping. And then we have also All Stars 5 and Cosmic Legions Wave 1 and 2, which are completely unlimited. Get as many as you want. So that might be the way to spread out the shipping if you were ordering from over here, for example. I think there's a sweet spot in the shipping, usually 4 or 5 figures. Usually means that you're maybe paying $10 a figure shipping or something like that, which isn't terrible. You guys going to go for this?
Yeah.
This thing here, I could hear when I got a message through from Mal saying that had come out. I could hear my pocket started sobbing, and it was like, yeah, I know it's in my pocket. It's my wallet.
So what's the plan then for you, Rich? That's going to make the wallet cry?
Well, just anything at the moment, quite frankly, but spent so much already. Probably get a few more armory nights.
£8 beers or 9?
Yeah. Yeah. A few more armory nights.
Oh, of course, yeah. Everything else that's in stock on the Horseman at the moment is so they have the armory nights and a bunch of other figures. Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah. One of the normal ATLs, definitely. I think I need another Xenothon for my plans as well, and another Ilgar. And then if tempted, I have to admit, by the Cosmic Builders as well. Maybe get a few more of those.
Yeah. I'm thinking that the ATLs won't sell out in the first 24 hours.
I'm hoping.
If you remember the Cosmic Legions Heavy Gunner, that didn't sell out. Now this should probably be more popular than that because there is a bit of G.I. Joe nod there.
Yeah.
But,
and the Cosmic Gun is still available. So
and of course we don't know how many they are, but it is the standard version. So yeah, so it's going to be an interesting event. I mean, probably be already happened by the time you hear this, most of you. So let us know how it went.
I'm hoping. Yeah.
And hopefully it
I
wasn't a bloodbath for stuff. Yeah. So I don't think so. It doesn't tend to be anymore.
So no, I mean, the Horsemen have got quite good, haven't they, at getting the quantities about right, so that,
yeah,
like the one per person sort of thing means it'll probably last 24 hours or so before that sells out.
I think so, yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure on this because I'm broke, but be tempted to maybe get a couple of... I might let it go the 24 hours until the limits are up and then see what's there. And if it's not meant to be, it's not meant to be. And I think the Headhunter I don't need. Ganesha, I'd love to get extras for customs, but that's $70 for a custom. It's putting you a very big base price already, although you do get a lot of stuff now. So,
yeah, I mean, that's the good thing with Ganesha, isn't it? All the extra bits and bobs you get, then you could spread those over a few customs and get a pretty good setup.
Yeah.
Speaking of Ganesha, I got him set up so that so he's grabbing some of the, I can't remember what the dessert was called, but with his trunk.
I like that.
So he's helping himself to that, and this is terrible TV. And he's caught a rat trying to get his puddings.
Oh, you got the rat by the tail.
He's not happy. He's caught that rat trying to, he thought it was his friend, and he caught him stealing his puddings. So he's not happy.
I love it. That's so much character already in that. That's a Modaka, Rich. So just so
a Modaka. Okay, there we go. Yeah. But an amazing figure. I had loads of fun playing with it.
Yeah. One of the best I think they've done in a while. And they haven't done very many bad ones either, so just tells you how good Ganesha is.
Yes, I was just sat there reminding myself going, you don't need any more, you've got 2. That's plenty. 1 custom elephant, that's enough.
This could be the kind of thing to pick up at Legion's Con and maybe unbox them and try and trade away some of the accessories you don't need or something like that, for other parts.
It's the sort of thing I can imagine myself going around the, Legion's Con first thing Saturday morning, seeing an amazing painted elephant head that somebody else has done from like a 3D part thing, buying that and then running out to the Horseman booth going, I need another elephant, please. Give me another Ganesha.
I've got to say, I'm really looking, I mean, as cool as he is now, I'm really looking forward to seeing what they do with the retailer version, because of course there's
another thing.
There's a good chance it'll be slightly different colour, because there's sort of images of him as blue and images of him as pink, and that'd be really fun.
I think the pink's like not totally garish pink, but pink with a kind of a lighter pink kind of body, maybe. That'd be cool.
Yeah, either for me, I think that'd be fun.
And also, you have to think, well, okay, it mightn't happen this year now, but there might be a figure in an upcoming wave that uses that torso.
Yeah. That's one of the exciting things.
It could be fun, Fat lizard man, Rich.
Oh, don't tease me, John.
Don't tease Jesus. It sounds like a very bad fetish.
Yeah. And this is why I don't broadcast from my display room, so you don't see the stuff on the walls.
Okay, let's move along. You'll remember from a few episodes ago, I had Cassia the Traveller. So I've been bringing her around Luxembourg a bit and taking a couple of photos. This one is from Beaufort Castle. It's about a half an hour from me, a little bit north from here. Really cool medieval castle that actually has on the other side of that castle has a more modern wing as well that they built, and there was a family lived there up until the 70s or something.
Oh wow.
And this part is kind of old ruins. That bit to kind of on the right of the picture there is this real kind of old ruin. You can kind of climb up in it, and you can go in for a tour and all that kind of stuff. So I didn't do that now. I went and got the brochure because I've been there a good few times and took this nice picture outside with the castle. And yeah, I've sent the photos away to get some of them to get printed, and I'll be doing my little entry in the book and should be ready to head on to the next recipient very soon. You're on the list, Rich, I believe,
I
somewhere.
am. Depending what time of year she comes to me, she'll be photographed by some Welsh castles, but probably with a lot greyer background than the one you had there, John.
But that's yeah. It was a beautiful day. I was roasting. I literally was taking photos, and it was so bright I couldn't. Now I have just a normal. I don't have the pro version of the iPhone or whatever. I couldn't see properly on the screen what the photo looked like, because it was so bright, and I had my brightness up 100%, and I still really couldn't see. So I took first a lot of pictures, and then I kind of went into the shade to look at them, and her leg was like sticking up like sideways. So I was like, crap. So I had to go back and put her leg, and her leg still isn't brilliant in the photo, but it's much more, it's a bit less amateur. And then that was okay, but I took like 10 different angles just to be sure. So and people probably wondering what I was at, but I don't care. Yeah. But yeah, it was that day was like 27 degrees or something. It was roasting, and it's now like 13 today. It's like, come on, what's that back?
We had 27, 28 temperatures end of last week, and it's cooled right off.
Turned on Friday, in fact, didn't it? Really?
Mm-hmm. It did.
It's the time of year. It could. It could definitely get back.
Before I met up with Mal, I finished a bit earlier. Mal was getting the train in. So I walked up to Forbidden Planet, which is not that far away, but it was so warm. And then Forbidden Planet had no aircon at all. And I was like picking up figures, looking at them while the sweat just ran down my face. And I put the figure down, just wiped myself, and then pick the figure up again, going, I'm not damaging the boxes, honestly. I'm just looking, I'm just looking at these.
Sale at Forbidden Planet, damp, sweaty boxes.
I bought 2 things from them, so
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I got the DC Swamp thing, the Ran version. I think it's like the sort of ready pink sort of thing we've shown here, and then I bought Guy Gardner at full price because he's quite difficult to find. So
cool.
I love my Lantern Corps stuff, so yeah, had to get him.
And speaking of superheroes, have you seen Thunderbolts yet? The Marvel one?
Yeah, I saw it.
Mal has.
Yeah, I saw it.
I heard it's a bit of a return to form.
For me, it was. I have actually seen.
Depending on your opinion, of course, yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, I have actually seen that some people have been a bit negative about it, but I really, really enjoyed it. For me, it was the best thing since the last Avengers film. I mean, I have enjoyed stuff since. I enjoyed Guardians of the Galaxy and
yeah, there's been some decent ones, but it hasn't been
this
on the same track as it was before. I feel anyway.
This is I think exceptionally good. So.
Yeah, excellent. Well, I'm going to go with Holly, my daughter, for those that don't know. So I'll try and drag her there this weekend, but she's already voiced her opinion that she doesn't want to go anywhere this weekend. I've been busy with family stuff this weekend gone, so we'll see.
Cinema. You can surely fob her off with
I should be that, like loads of sweets, chocolate.
Sweets, yeah,
that sort of stuff. Should be fun.
You can stay at home and look at your iPad or whatever, or TV or whatever, you play your Nintendo with no sweets.
Yeah,
you can come with me for 2 hours and get high as a kite on sugar.
I'm going to be starving on Sunday because it's mine and my wife's 10th wedding anniversary this Friday.
Oh, okay.
So we're going out to a Michelin star restaurant on Saturday for a 7-course tasting lunch.
Oh, lovely!
Which sounds amazing, but obviously I'm not an unfussy eater. It's fair to say. So me and my wife are currently taking bets on how many of the courses I'll actually be able to eat. I'm thinking maybe 3 of the 7, and they're tiny anyway with tasting things. So I'm going to be ravenous by the time we get out of there. Right. Having spent God knows how much money.
It's a bit like my wife. She is completely not a fussy eater at all, but there's 1 or 2 things that she's not that gone on, and a lot of them seem to be in those really fancy, or they seem to be in a lot of those fancy dishes that you get.
I guarantee there's at least 2 fish courses out of the 7, and I don't do fish.
But so usually in these places, not that I want to say I've been to many, but usually you can tell them beforehand, look, I don't eat fish, so can you just exchange those courses? And they usually have an option. You'll get the vegetarian option usually for those courses. But
fingers crossed they offer us that then when we get there.
Yeah. Do.
But yes, whatever they give us, I will be ravenous on Sunday. So,
well, look, nice
Sounds
to be out with your wife for your anniversary, and spending some time together, and
exactly, yeah. I wouldn't say I got a bad reputation in terms of anniversaries and that sort of stuff. But I had to get a picture of her on her phone earlier of me and her together because I haven't taken a selfie of the two of us for quite some time. and she's like, "Why are you doing that?" And it's like, "Well, I'm sorting your card out." And she's like, "But it's 3 days to go. What do you mean you're sorting your card?" It's like, "Yes, okay, I am rubbish at it normally."
Oh my god! And then you look through the phone camera roll, and it's like thousands of action figures.
Oh god, yeah. If it was a picture of action figures, or me and Mal more recently, then I'd have no problem at all. But me and my good lady wife, no, nothing.
Happy anniversary, honey. It's me and Mal.
That now there's a card you should send from the two of us.
Yeah.
Mal says, "Thanks for letting him podcast every week."
Otherwise it'd been happy 10th wedding anniversary. Here's lots of pictures of toys because that's all I could find on my phone roll. So there you go.
There mightn't be an 11th one then. That's the problem there. That is the problem there. Right, shall we move on to the Tale of the Crossroads then?
This is Thomas Belay at T Belay. You're listening to the Euro Legions podcast.
Yeah, see, Thomas was up in California at the weekend for the Mythic meetup there. That looked like a good time. Yeah, they had
really
Curtis.
good time.
Curtis was there as well. He made the trip over from the middle of America, so that's pretty cool. And I think he has one or two of his children that are studying over in California. So
yeah, he's definitely
probably combined the trip, which makes sense for sure. Him and Darla were there, so a nice little selfie. So they had a good time. Of course, Dave Williams, I saw him too. And Carver Customs was there.
Brian was there, wasn't he?
He's from Ohio, so that's also not that close to California. So yeah, lots
and
of cool
was
people.
Obviously there as well.
Oh yeah, Iz and Nate Birch were the kind of I think the guys running it, so to speak, or definitely involved in it.
People should look online for some of the pictures. There was a couple of tables of customs that just had some phenomenal customs. One guy had sort of like angelic themed knights on horses, and he's painted all the different horses, different colours, and that. Yeah, amazing stuff. So look out for the pictures.
Yeah, there's some. If you look for, there's a post from Iz for sure. Israel Ramirez, or Iz Ramirez. Don't know what his Facebook name is. In the Cabal, definitely worth a look. Right, and we have Tale of the Crossroads. So this is what we got first last week. Just pretty much after we recorded. Was it the day after we recorded last week? Yeah, we recorded early last week as well.
Yeah.
We normally do Wednesday recordings, and we did the Tuesday one. We're doing Tuesday one again this week, so hopefully they will not drop the next one now.
Yeah,
but I think with the in-stock sale coming on Thursday, I mean, I think that's enough for this week. Surely, come on, Horseman. So we had an idea that there was going to be 4 different characters here. I think you could see maybe top left and bottom right are 1.0 figures, and the other 2 are at 2.0 figures. Could conceivably be the same figure, but I thought Crossroads, we kind of figured that would be 4 as well, no?
Yeah,
I wasn't 100% sure myself, but there's definitely 2 different figures, wasn't there? So.
There was indeed, yeah. Yeah, and then they got revealed, and this is the first one. So there is 2 single packs of figures, and they're going to be available separately as 2 single packs, and in each single pack you can make 2 separate figures. But in order to have the 2 figures on your shelf, you'd need to buy two of the packs. But you can make either of the figure with one of the packs. So this one is the Shirelle, isn't it? And the Nymph.
Yep.
So I think the way it's laid out here with the cape and the hood, and that's
Shirelle.
That's Beluillet's repainted head, yeah? That's the Shirelle. And
no, it's the Isn't that?
Because the
Yeah,
nymph
you might
is
be
this
right.
one.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
the nymph
Sorry,
is
yeah,
this
you're
one,
right.
yeah.
Sorry, yeah.
And then we also had the warrior and the revenant, which is this cool looking dude here. So it's a heavy built knight with the Apharius skirt piece.
Is that what it was? I was going to ask you guys which one it was.
Yeah,
'cause
it's a fairy.
I couldn't for the life of me think which it was. Yeah.
Yeah. I've definitely seen people like Dennis Derby use this on customs previously. I don't have the bucks to be reusing a horse torso.
No.
And you hate centaurs, John. We've established it already.
Yeah. And the one I have, I actually I slightly melted this this skirt piece when I was heating it up for something. I was heating up the other part, but the skirt was in the background.
Speaking as somebody who slightly melted his front room carpet heating a part up, you got away with it lightly.
Yeah, I just damaged the figure, which, my wife isn't going to care about that much. So, yeah, that's so we got here, and up here you can see Trevor's beautiful glamour shots of them all. So there's the 4 figures that you can get. Overall impressions of this then, Rich?
I love it.
Yeah.
I'm sometimes a bit hit and miss with 2.0 figures, as regular listeners will know. But I love both of those. I think they're really good sets. They're really simple. And the knights are both just awesome. So yeah, I'm really excited about this.
And you, Mal?
I think it's exceptional. I think this is possibly my favourite Mythic con exclusive that we've got. I'm the other way. I think I like the 2 female figures more than the male figures, but I do like the male ones. It's that little bit of they're kind of knights again, isn't it? Where, although I like the build that's not so knighty.
The Revenant there with the Poxus torso.
Yeah, with the Poxus torso. But yeah, my very favourite is the nymph. I love the use of those little wings and the just everything about her.
When I'd seen these and I knew John had seen them, I messaged, and you hadn't, Mal. I messaged John going, "Yeah, Mal's going to love the 2.0 one. He's going to lose his mind for that one."
It's basically hot goth chicks, isn't it? How could I not?
And on the nymph, is that the Thrace Raytailor head?
No, I don't think they used a Thrace head for once.
This is where I was going to get. It's the Ghost of Future Past.
Oh, it's okay. It's the figure obscura. Okay,
yeah,
that was my other.
Yeah.
Was my other guess if it wasn't.
Wig on it, yeah. That's why I was getting confused over which one was.
Yeah, it does look rounder than Thrace, but thought I'd throw it out there. I like these as well. The 1.0 is amazing. It's my favorite. I just like these
warrior or base
style of figures. I think probably if I had to choose one, I'd choose the Revenant as well. Okay. But the warrior is also
he is cool. Yeah,
excellent. Yeah. He's a really cool heavy knight, and I think he's definitely going to do one of each of these. So need 2 of those, and then the other 2 also excellent. And I love the story behind, which we'll maybe have a little chat about. Have some bullet points on it. It's actually posted on the Horseman website now. It wasn't for a few days, but so that'll be cool just to dig into. It's a cool little backstory, and it really kind of makes these figures even more special. And Jeremy went through it on his show last week, so if you want to check that out, Mythic Conversations.
I think I prefer the warrior builds to the Revenant build.
Right.
However, using the Revenant head with that face insert on the warrior, I think will be even better again.
Oh, do they fit?
Yeah, at the head will you just
you'd have to take the whole head. Yeah.
Okay.
So the helmet and everything and put it on there, but that's going to look amazing.
For me, on the warrior, I'm going to use the Gorgo Etherblade head because it looks so cool. And then I'm really torn with the Revenant.
See, the Gorgo head, I don't dislike it, but it's not one of my favourites, I have to admit. So there's very few of my figures that have actually got that display.
I love that head.
Yeah, that's all you get then with the knight. So you do get a scaphoid head as well. So if we just if we look through here, let's just for this figure. So the Gorgo head is exclusive to Legion's Con.
It is.
And the face plate.
The human face plate
with the red eyes, is it? Red.
Yeah.
And the scaphoid head. They're all exclusive.
I'm not sure if the neck's exclusive as well, the scaphoid neck that comes with it.
Yes,
Must
it
be,
is.
yeah. Must be, yeah.
But yeah, I was so inspired by all these scaphoid coloured heads in this that I picked up 4 scaphoids cheap on the Cabal yesterday.
Oh, wow.
Somebody was selling 4 of them for $100, so I snapped that up.
Okay, that's a good deal. That's a good deal. But yeah, I think it's kind of cool that they do heads for exclusive pieces, because I feel like you don't miss out too much then. Because I mean, if they were to do like torsos or limbs or whatever, they're harder to kind of get, I think. I feel like you're more important to the look.
Yeah, I mean, I'm probably going to get like 3 of each, so I can do the 2 and then have my usual. I like to keep the special edition things, have one in a box. But I'll probably leave it at that for these guys. As cool as I think they are, and they're awesome parts because they're all sort of that muted neutral tones, much more neutral tones in blacks and greys and browns.
Yeah.
I'll probably wait until the standard one goes on sale for the parts,
Yeah.
Mal, I don't know if you heard, but they said the standard one's going to be the same price as the exclusive.
Ooh.
Yeah, but it's transport, it's space. And
that's
all
fine.
that,
I just wanted to make sure
spending
you're
at the
aware of
top.
that. Yeah,
spreading out my spending. Let's put it that way.
There we go.
Yeah, and worth to mention that David Williams is doing the box art on this, so definitely probably want to keep a box. So that's going to be a packaging problem.
Well, that's
I love to
I'm
mention.
going to get 2 back.
Might have to ship those. Yeah, might have to ship those ones.
Luckily, we know people who are very kind and generous, and whose initials are BS, and ship stuff back for us. Yeah, ironically, yeah. But on Jeremy's show, they talked about the Warrior and the Revenant. They got the Zweihander sword, but they said, but they got the shield as well. And they're like, yeah, but he's so badass, he can cope with a 2-handed sword with one hand.
Yeah, I thought that's really cool.
As well as having the shield. It was like really good. I really like that description.
Yeah, that's cool. So let's just go through her then to see what's exclusive. So we got the Zerian Spire head from Cosmic.
That is how I want mine displayed.
Yeah,
that looks really good on this
figure.
That
is my favorite head for this figure, the nymph. So that's the other look you can get for the nymph, which is the Ghost of Christmas Past.
I'll probably have I'll take that back. I'll probably have the wings rather than the cape, but it'll be
yeah, the head I was talking about. Yeah. And that's just the Trevor's pictures are just incredible. I mean, it goes without saying, but still,
absolutely amazing. Although I managed to miss the fact the wings were on there completely until Jeremy mentioned them on his show. I was like, "What wings?" It's like, "Oh, the wings clearly sticking out of her back." Yeah, okay.
They're cool. So they came. They've only come with Artemis so far, the version 2 of Artemis. So
that's one of the parts I really, really like.
Really I think that's. See, if they were exclusive now, that would really suck because that's really hard to get. Because to get those wings produced in a different color, translucent plastic is that's not a customized paint job,
Yeah, for sure.
There's really no way of replicating it. There she is with the skull in the cage. We'll get onto the meaning behind all these in a sec. Let's just get the rest of the exclusive heads out of the way.
This is my favorite head.
Queen Urxa head. This is bananas. It completely changes the look, gives you. I feel like this is an entirely different character altogether.
Yeah,
really.
same here.
Yeah.
That's my problem. That's what might make me get another one of these, is because I really like how they look. She looks with that head, but as you say, it doesn't feel like the same character. It feels like a different character.
Yeah. And then that's her. So those are the two exclusive heads that you're missing with her, if you get the standard version. So I think that's pretty fair. If we move on then to anything more about the figures themselves, and
just so many parts. And as Mal said, it's like the sort of muted color scheme. It's like the soft goods on the Revenant is just going. I mean, on all of them, particularly like the skirt piece on the Revenant.
Yeah,
it's going to look brilliant on anything. Shove out an armory knight, anything at all. It's going to work really, really well.
Well, it's very similar by the looks of it in its sort of cut and style of the Poxus skirt piece as well, which is such a good piece.
Yeah.
Such a good
Yes, I think it might actually be that, Mal.
It does look a lot like it. And David did ask, and Jeremy was like, oh, it might be. So, yeah.
Yeah, why not? They don't need to, if they do it in a different color material, soft goods.
If CJ's got the pattern and it works.
Yeah, if the pattern's already plugged in at the factory and it's just do this in black fabric instead of tan or whatever that Poxus one was, whatever color you call that. Yeah, absolutely go for it. We're not
excellent piece as well.
Yeah, we're not against reuse, and especially in soft goods. And those tattered kind of soft goods, anyway. You know, if it's a very specific type of cape for a noble guy, yeah, okay, that might look a bit strange on a different character. But this kind of stuff, it looks like they just picked it from a dead enemy or whatever. You know.
Yeah. No, there'll be a lot of these coming back with me.
Yeah. Right. Let's touch a little bit on the story. I think we might record a version of the story in the future, Mal, when we have more time for doing it properly.
Busy. Yeah, been a little bit busy this last weekend. So.
Yeah, you don't want me doing it, guys. So we'll get Mal and I'll do the production, and everything will work out well. So. The story is told as a legend in Mythoss. So it's Mythoss. It's a kind of a third-hand account. So that's already kind of cool. Does this really exist? Is this a kind of a tall tale? Is it a legend, or is it actually somewhere? And the place is it's called in English the Dark Pathways. They call it the Dew Fear Thrasna, which is sounds to me Irish anyway. That word
looks like
yeah, and that kind of Thrasna is a kind of a way, you know, so that's the one word I remembered from my Irish of those. And do, I mean, is kind of part of the word black, which the word black is dove in Irish. And Dublin, the actual Irish literal translation is Blackpool. So they didn't want to call it Blackpool. So they just kind of anglified the Irish name. And actually the Irish name is completely different. It's called Clea. So, yeah.
Didn't want all the English showing up in their Bermuda shorts and topless with the, expecting
asking where the tower is.
Yeah, where's the tower, mate? Yeah. So this place is not on a map in Mythoss, so we won't be able to add it to our map, or Nate won't be putting it on the map. So something interesting, but you somehow arrived there. Who knows how?
There was even a suggestion that maybe it moves.
Ah, yeah. I mean, there's magic in Mythoss, so of course,
yeah. And it's almost like the crossroad. So. Yeah, almost like the crossroad might find you rather than you find it. It could almost seek out somebody
when you least expect it. You know. It reminds me a little bit of some place you kind of go in between being dead and being alive,
Yeah, because none of the choices are really good for you in the end, are they? Let's be honest.
We'll get into those. Yeah. There's I know there's a scene in the last Harry Potter movie, for example, where he meets Dumbledore in this kind of it's almost like a train station, and it's really bright and whatever, and it's in between him. Kind of in the real world, people think he's actually been killed, and it's a kind of a what choice you make from here determines your fate. So similar vibes here. So there's 4 paths. Obviously, Crossroads makes sense, and each path has a keeper. I think at the end of this, we can say which one we'd go for ourselves. Yeah, but
to be honest, no.
I don't think anyone wants to go for any of them. But you're, if you were playing a game of D&D, or if this really happened, you would have to do it. So the first one is the warrior, and you have to defeat the warrior in combat. So that's pretty simple. And if you don't defeat him, well, you're toast. So the nymph, you have to solve riddles. Solve her riddles. And
without going mad, it reads a little bit like she sends you into
a tizzy
the mental
with all the
equivalent
talking,
of an escape room, doesn't it?
If anyone's ever had a 5-year-old child that won't shut up, it'll be a bit like that. I haven't had one of those, but I've had to suffer some of those in my time. If you do actually solve the riddles, then you become attractive to everybody or whoever you most desire. So that would be good. And if not, she turns you into a mouse, and you have to follow her around the whole time. You're completely in her thrall. So, I mean, it sounds better than the warrior.
Yeah,
but you're a mouse now.
Yeah,
but you're in the moment, aren't you? By the sounds of it, so you wouldn't really know any better.
True. So for me already, that sounds better than the warrior. Okay.
Yeah.
Then we got the Shirelle. She's not nice at all. I mean, you get the vibe from nymph. Sounds kind of nice. She even looks kind of pleasant. The Shirelle looks nasty. She has puzzles, so not riddles this time. Puzzles. And you go to her if you want to get retribution or vengeance. That's why you might choose to do her puzzles. And if you get defeated by her puzzles, then she consumes your soul, and it's tied to her, and you'll be suffering all the pain of your soul being tied to her for the rest of time. And she carries around your head in the cage just to show everybody, she don't mess with her.
It's a hard pass from me on the Shirelle one.
Yeah. Doesn't sound like a fun one.
No,
I don't feel the need for retribution or vengeance either. That's not really my style.
Yeah. Oh, I feel a lot of need for that, but not at the risk of being carried around for eternity. No.
Yeah, and then the Revenant. There's no real defeating the Revenant, so I don't know why you would choose that one. Although there is the possibility of immortality, it's very unclear what the Revenant actually does to you, or it's kind of like a close the door and nobody knows what goes on behind it kind of a scenario. So
and a lot of literature and like myths and that sort of stuff, people who become immortal live to regret it. They reach a certain point.
There's a suggestion of that here.
Yeah, can't do it anymore.
Yeah,
and
so
of course there can only be
that's
one.
a form of torture. Yeah.
Say again,
Highlander. He gave a Highlander reference.
Only one, thank you. Yeah, well done, Mal.
Yeah, so they're your choices. There's a beautiful little rhyme then to round out the story, which basically summarizes the different scenarios for you there. I think that rhyme could be done in a very kind of a pleasant, upbeat way, but with the words sounding very ominous. I think the nymph is the only one to choose there, but yeah, it's not a good outcome either way, is it?
I'd take the warrior on. I'm not sure I'll be a mouse forever. Bring the warrior on.
Is that like you and Anthony, basically?
Yeah. I was thinking if you want to summarize the poem, but in not as polite language, take any of these beeps on and you're absolutely beeped.
Yeah. I think the fact that you'd have to be questioning your life is about the fact that you're there in the first place.
Yes.
Maybe that's the real issue.
What bad decisions have you made that have ended you up here?
Yeah, so that's a story. Really cool.
Very cool. Everything about this is so good.
It's really well done.
I wonder, will the story be included on the box, or or will there be a little booklet or something? Maybe, if it's too much to print on the box, but it mightn't be. I think.
I'd imagine the box.
Yeah.
Try and keep it the sort of exclusive and feel of it sort of thing, rather than getting it in the book.
True.
Although maybe that means they put it in the book, so it wouldn't be.
No, but like if you know this little booklet, like you get in the figuras.
Yeah.
They're in single boxes, aren't they? So it's going to be just that bit of the story with them in it, isn't it? That we've seen.
Oh, you think it's going to be the half? Maybe
we'll see. We shall see. I'm excited to see what David does. He has some awesome.
Absolutely,
art.
Yeah. And I think others have said this already, but these type of characters scream David style to me.
Yes.
Even he specializes in, he's a tattoo artist, and he doesn't do color tattoos. He does black ink tattoos, and a lot of his art is always that kind of black ink on paper style, and it's really amazing. So I can imagine it will be in that kind of style.
Yeah, well, and I feel like the T-shirt he did at Legion's last year isn't that far away.
If you remember
these guys, these characters, yeah.
If you want to go back and listen to our episode with David from last October, that would be a fun one to catch up with David and Thomas. We definitely talked about that then. But the other exciting thing about this is that's not all from Legion's Con exclusive. And these will be available on both days. There will be a standard version as usual afterwards. We talked about the exclusive parts. And like last year, if there are some left over, I believe that they might end up at a retailer or something like that. I mean, nothing has been confirmed or anything, but you follow the logical steps, you might end up with someone like Big Bad having them for a slightly higher price. So all good. And the fact that they're single packs does make it a bit easier for people to get the ones they like and stock up on those instead of being stuck with 18 orange Walters or whatever it was.
Which I don't mind, but others maybe don't want their orange.
I've got a few Walters, that'd be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're great base for custom. Let's be honest.
It's whether you like Cosmic, though, isn't it? That's the kind of problem with that one. There's a lot of people who weren't perhaps Cosmic.
Well, I've done a lot of Cosmic customs so far this year. So maybe I need to spend the rest of the year doing Mythic customs.
I'm wondering if not the day 2 thing is over both days, but the other pack will be maybe a tribute one with one Mythic, one Cosmic.
Maybe.
Or maybe they're both Cosmic, just to spread it out a little bit.
Yeah.
Because Cosmic doesn't generally do as well as Mythics. However, the Cosmic one last year flew and everybody loved it. Yeah. They were talking about that more than the Mythic ones.
Yeah, it can often just depend on the figure, so if it follows, again, the normal pattern, the other figure or figures would be some sort of a tribute to somebody in the community. What was you were thinking, you had thought about that, Mal, if they were going to do one, it might be?
Oh, well, it was this one, because it looked like it was a male and female character. I wondered.
Yeah, but I guess it still stands if we...
Potentially, I wondered if it was Cameron and Sherry might get...
I think that would be cool. Yeah, they... because they work as a team with the painting, so now they have other people on board with the painting now as well. Eric Miller, I believe, is quite heavily involved in a lot of projects now at this point. He did the head pack for the Cosmic heads pack, which I think will arrive at some point, and we'll go, "Oh my god, do you remember that? I forgot I ordered that."
I think it will. If they do Cameron though, I can't remember if any of the heads already got massive mutton chops.
No, but that could be a good
cool.
Richard Jones,
in
a former life tribute head as well. Yeah, so that would be cool. Mutton chops. Yeah,
I suggested to my wife the other day actually that I was going to grow the beard quite long before Legion's Con and then just shave it into the mutton chops and go to Legion's Con with the mutton chops.
Oh yeah,
it wasn't a positive response from the family over me looking like that for any period of time in this country. It was like,
okay. You'll have to just go with a full beard, and we can. You can do it there when you arrive. Just turn up, just wear a mask, a COVID mask, just for the crack, and then run upstairs to the room, mutton chop yourself, and come back and say hi. Yeah, I wonder if I'd love if they use some new parts we haven't had yet, but that are in production or maybe even produced. Like, for example, imagine if they did a dwarf with parts from the dwarf 2-pack, assuming that Rising Suns might be also arriving around that time. That would be amazing.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, that would be my dream. I can't wait to get those dwarves now. I think that's my most anticipated now. Although the Oxcrew Cosmic has me excited too. Yeah. And of course, let's not forget All-Star 6, which should be popping up soon, but obviously with the shipping uncertainty at the moment,
it's probably been finished already and it's just sat in a container in China because it's just too expensive to ship.
I'm going to give the Horseman a pass on delaying that until things settle down.
Oh god, I wouldn't some way anybody would import stuff at the moment. There's just no point.
No, I mean, obviously if they have certainty or terms that work for them, however they do it, then go for it. But yeah, cannot be sucking up a huge loss on that because that's bad for everybody here. So fingers crossed that works out for them and for all us collectors. Right. So that was the Legion's Con exclusive. And we did, of course, the in-stock sale. And Nels, how are the fish, Rish?
I've had one rise. Like I'm slightly worried I might have a zombie fish in the tank now because I was convinced one of them was dead. I hadn't seen it for a few days,
so
and then
Phoenix from the Flames.
Yeah, and it's orange and yellow, so it's like it could be like a Phoenix sort of color as well. So yeah,
wow,
that's slightly scary.
And
they've been good.
You were telling me the shrimp is maybe chasing that one around now.
I wouldn't. No, I was joking. It was like the shrimps, because if a fish dies in the tank, the shrimps just demolish said fish.
Jesus.
I found a backbone and a skull before now. I've fished out
diorama pieces for the tank.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? It's that they don't mess around, the shrimps. So I'd imagine if this one does, isn't feeling very well, and that's why I didn't see it for a few days and gets even more poorly, there might be just a trail of shrimp following behind it going, die, we want to eat you, die.
Wow. That's a tough situation. And
but the tank itself is amazing.
Yeah.
Loving it. Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah, and we were chatting to Anthony O'Seal on Messenger, and he said that when he was a kid, his dad had, what did he say, 300-gallon tank or something?
300-gallon tank, mine's 50, so a bit bigger, yeah.
No, he wasn't like boasting, it was just we were talking about bigger tanks, and he was like, oh, we used to have loads of fish. And I mean, that's a sight to behold. Imagine trying to maintain that, though.
Oh, yeah, when you start getting tanks that big, you basically just have a few big fish. If you put like small shoaling ones in like I've got, I mean, you'd take like 1,000 of them to fill it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, there was there is a bakery in one of the towns near us. I mean, still there, but they had a big fish tank, and it was like all one wall at the back. So about 10 or 12 feet of a wall. And also in an L shape, so around the corner, another couple of feet. And they got rid of it. And we're asking them, it was there for years, it's only gone about 5 years, maybe before COVID. And they said, there's this association that used to maintain it for us. And they were, a lot of these retired people who had kind of done the hobby in their lives or whatever, or part of this club. And they would do it for free or for a small fee, I'd come around. And unfortunately, they didn't have enough members, and kind of, as people kind of got older and died, then it kind of just, there wasn't enough people left to be able to provide that service, and there wasn't new people coming on board. So yeah, unfortunately, good things come to an end sometimes like that.
Yeah, I mean, if you've got really big tanks, quite often, like very rich people will have loads of big tanks, and then get somebody in to maintain them for them, to get a company in.
Yeah, I don't know
that starts getting expensive then.
Yeah, I don't know the backstory of this. So whether it was, the original owner of the bakery was into this, or whether maybe someone, some older person that was that had a big tank was looking for a home for it and donated it there on the proviso that somebody would be maintaining it, because I guess the staff and the people that own the bakery can't really take that task on, as the bread is burning out the back. There's somebody trying to save a little fish from a shrimp or whatever. But the kids used to love watching it. Kids, you could sit there for hours watching it, to be honest. It's like better than TV sometimes,
Oh yeah, this is why I enjoy keeping fish. It's just, I think I've said before on the show, my two massive de-stressors are watching fish, be it in my tank or, anywhere else, and the cinema. Those are the two things that just totally relax me.
Awesome. So
I'm off to the cinema tomorrow night, so I should be chilled as you like come Thursday morning.
Yeah, but that would be no good for podcasting, because we don't want you too chill. We need a little bit of fire.
Yeah, I'll feed back on Mal's recommendation too, because you said Sinners was good, didn't you, Mal?
I did. I think that's another exceptional.
Yeah, so we're going to see that with a friend tomorrow, so that should be cool.
Oh, yeah, I've heard some of the people say it was good as well on some show or radio show I was listening to. So, yeah, it looks like you might be on to a winner there. And then next week we have to see what comes up. Maybe, as we said, maybe there's going to be another announcements, but in the meantime, we have some ideas. You had one about characters fighting each other, Rich?
I did, yes. So
explain that to me a little bit more.
Yeah, so it's basically either pick a character and go, right, Magnus, what would his fighting style be? And, if you had to take him down in a fight, who from another faction, an evil faction, would be able to do it? And what would the battle be like? Not 20 pages, and then he raised his sword and he did, but that sort of thing. So, or you can just pick two characters and go, right, what would happen if these two fought?
Right. Should we rank them should we do a couple of categories and rank them? Strength.
I think that sounds like a good idea. Yeah. In an ideal world, I'd do it.
That sounds like a spreadsheet.
Yeah. There used to be a program called Deadliest Warriors.
Right.
It was on it years ago, and they'd put like a knight against a pirate, for instance, and they'd test the various weapons they had and this sort of stuff. So if I could get some ballistic torsos and some real swords, we could do that, but that's probably be a bit of a stretch, to be honest.
Was that on BBC or what?
No, it was one of the streaming services.
Okay.
Yeah, but if you find it's just hilarious. My wife used to walk in and just shake her head and walk out, and I'd be there glued to them going, well, if a pirate fired a musket, it would do this, and the next thing you know, and a knight's, Zvai a sword would do that, and then they showed them reenacting it. So you had people as the characters fighting, because they'd run simulations, like, we've run the simulation 12,000 times, and the pirate won 52% of the time. So you'd see the two of them fighting, and then the pirate would finish off the night. It's so good. So good.
So most wives are afraid of, coming home and catching their husband watching porn or something on the television, and she walks in and it's like you're watching a pirate fight at night.
She knows I'm too boring for that. It'll be fish, action figures, maybe like golf or snooker, not even an exciting sport. She knows that. It's just like,
snooker was exciting this week, the World Championship.
Until the final. As a Welshman, that was a bad result in the final. But
yeah, but he's 50 and almost blind, Mark Williams.
So am I, but I'd still be upset if I made it to the world final and lost.
Says a lot. If someone's 50 and still in the world final of a sport, is it a sport?
There's certain sports on like darts and snooker and that way, they're not physical particularly, so you can play them to a decent age.
I mean, golf has the seen tour, but I think once golfers get to mid 40s, they tend to lose their competitiveness. I think it was in terms of against the younger guys.
Yeah, I think it was the Tokyo Olympics. One of the Japanese show jumpers was in his 70s. Because obviously he's just sat on top of a horse, so it's
strapped on because he can't hold himself on anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, he'd have to get it. He'd have to. I'm sure he had a lot of therapeutical use exemptions for all his medication. Imagine blood pressure, arthritis meds, yeah.
You can't compete with all these. Oh yes, I can. Here's all the exemptions from the doctors.
Yeah, write them up. Cool. Well, if you have any ideas for what you'd like us to do on the show along those lines, or something completely off the wall, and you've listened this long, so you must like the show. So drop us a line. Spread the word. Share the show. Yeah. Any TV recommendations?
If you want any recommendations about podcasts about fish or anything as well, just let me know.
You don't listen to podcasts about fish, do you?
It's not podcasts. It's like video vlogs, whatever they're called. But yeah, I watch quite a few of those. It's a bit sad.
Your YouTube algorithm is messed up.
I highly recommend Ohio Fish Rescue if anyone's into fish keeping.
Okay. And aside from watching fish, any TV shows I should be watching? That doesn't seem to be a huge amount at the moment.
I finally got round to watching Shogun, which was absolutely amazing. I just absolutely blasted through that. And another older one, but I've just found it in the last 3 days, is The Old Man with Jeff Bridges.
Okay.
Where he's an ex... No, I'll try not to spoil too much. An ex-CIA agent, basically, who just disappeared, was in hiding, nothing more to do with him. And he's about 70 or so sort of thing. And then he's found, and it just goes from there. And it's really, really good.
Cool.
Quite slow in places, but really good.
Sounds like me. All right. I guess that's it. It's a bank holiday on Friday in Luxembourg. So Europe Day.
Nice.
It's the one you could have had, lads. It's the one you could
There we go. It's my wedding anniversary, so,
Well, it's my birthday tomorrow as we record this, so my birthday will be done. I'll be a year older by the time you listen to this, folks. 46.
46, I wish. Jesus. But remember, everybody, stay safe out there. If you do keep giant fish, make sure you don't get eaten by them. Some of them get quite big.